the 2K Sports pregame show.
I'm Ernie Johnson here again with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. This NBA season rocking right along, and we're loving every minute of it. Our featured matchup tonight in Chicago, where the Bulls will be going up against the San Antonio Spurs. Well, for San Antonio, they've gone 4-1 over the last 5, playing pretty well, and they're looking to build on that tonight. And let's talk for a moment about Derrick Rose. He's missed so much time the past several seasons with injuries. Kenny, is it too much to expect him to return to his former level, his MVP level?
Well, maybe not the MVP level, but he still can be a serviceable all-star, meaning he might not be able to dominate for 82 games, but he could do it for 40. And then he could do it for playoff time. So I do think the knee surgeries took a little toll on him, as they would any player, but I still think he has a lot left in the tank.
He might be able to get back to his MVP level, but that's going to take a full season. A full season of injury-free play to get that confidence back. Full season, Ernie, 82 games.
That does it for us. Kevin Harlan with the call, and we will see you later on.
We have an interconference affair lined up for you today as the San Antonio Spurs come in for this one. Well, what better way to spend a Monday night than with the 2K Sports team and the NBA. Welcome, everyone. This is Kevin Harlan, and here with me tonight, Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke reporting from the sideline. Taking a look at Chicago, still trying to find that groove they had last year. They'd like to grab hold of some new momentum and get closer, Steve, to where they were a season ago.
Yeah, but checking out Chicago, they've stumbled a little bit here at the beginning of the season. A disappointing start for one of the NBA's truly great teams.
Well, we thought they were going to be a great team, but early season results have me wondering what kind of team they're going to be. Great, certainly not in the equation now.
All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. On the court right now for the Spurs. Defensive-minded Green and Leonard are the wings. Aldridge out there with Duncan, and it's Mills in at the 1 spot.
I tell you what, at this point in his career, it is safe to say, actually has been for a while, that Duncan might be one of the best power forwards ever. He is, clearly. 5 rings, 50-win seasons, his whole career. The complete package on the box.
And he sinks the second. And Duncan, who briefly contemplated retiring after last season, showed in the playoffs, Greg, he is still very much at the top of his game.
Listen, Tim Duncan, for me, is the greatest power forward to ever play the game, although Pop will tell you he's actually a center in the power forward's body. Hey, what a great matchup. How great was he, I should say, in the matchup against the Clippers last season. And throughout his career, he has been more consistent than a clock. I mean, it doesn't matter the year or who he's up against. This guy just finds a way to leave his mark on the game. And really, the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
It is. I mean, no reason to back off and give him the layup. I mean, much better off making him go to the line.
And he can't get the first one.
And the Spurs last season became the first franchise to hire a female assistant coach. A big step, not just for the Spurs, but really for all of the NBA.
Good on the second free throw. Well, as Greg was just talking about, the assistant that was hired was Becky Hammon, a phenomenal player for a very long time in the WNBA. And Clark, you and I were talking about this before. She was a perfect candidate to become the first full-time female assistant.
Yeah, I agree with you, and it might not seem like that big a deal to some, but this was a big-time barrier breaker that the Spurs pulled off.
Here's Clarkson following the basket by LaMarcus Aldridge. Comes out of the gate empty. He's 0 for 1. Mills dishes to Green. First quarter, about a minute and a half in. Pass to Duncan. Gasol with the rebound.
Oh, you've got to be able to deliver when you get a bunny like that. That's just too easy of a shot to miss.
Fires from 14. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
Just couldn't get a hand in the face on that one.
That's using what you got. He's got a height advantage, put it to good use there, and got himself a clean look.
Now here is Aldridge. He's coming off a 10-point game against Atlanta.
And also, he competed on the backboards. That also had a lot to do with the game.
Clock at 6. Tries from 16, and the bank shot is good.
Tim Duncan, even in his advanced years, showing you that great vision and still getting it done. Nice pass.
Now, here's Clarkson. Defense right on him. Gasol passes to Drummond. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol.
Nice, accurate pass right into the middle.
For San Antonio, they've gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Leonard against Butler. With the fadeaway. Leonard, no luck.
You know, the right thing there to try to fade away with the D all over him, but that is a difficult shot to sink.
And here in the first, about 3 minutes in. And here's Miles outside. No luck. And San Antonio will go the other way with it. They are coming off that win against Atlanta.
A lot of firepower coming off the bench in that game really allowed them to escape with victory.
I thought the bench was the X factor for him. You can't rely on that kind of scoring coming from the reserves every game. But when it shows up, it's a nice weapon.
Here's Gasol after the basket by San Antonio. And it's Chicago scoring again.
How about that sweet-looking stroke from Gasol?
Last game for Chicago, it was a loss to Indiana.
Yeah, major problems at the charity stripe in that game. They just could not convert their free throws.
And that makes it hard to win, especially on the road. You get a chorus of about 20,000 yelling at you every time you put one off the rim. Boy, that's got to wear on you.
Now, here's Clarkson following the miss by LaMarcus Aldridge. There's the pick. Gasol kicks to Butler. Drummond the screen. And it's thrown down hard with both hands.
And Kevin, the knack for the offensive rebound are a big part of what makes this guy special.
Not to mention, Greg, his ability to finish with strength just like that.
Yeah, he's an invaluable asset for them to have. No question about it.
And he gets it to go.
Love the assist. I mean, he knew exactly where that bounce pass had to be to create that opportunity.
Now, here's Clarkson, covered by Mills. The shot by Clarkson, no good. The Spurs have gone 50% from the field to this point, 4 of 8. Leonard against Gasol. The wide open look here for Aldridge. Chicago grabs the miss.
Most of the time, that shot will go down. Boy, the defenders have to make sure they tag it.
That doesn't go either for Butler. And San Antonio shooting 44% overall here in the first quarter. Mills with it. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Back to Duncan. Elbow shot is on the way. Oh, and that one had the right spin on it, and it is good.
Yeah, I love the communication and the chemistry between those teammates.
Kicks to Butler. Gasol, a screen on Green. Good-looking screen by Gasol. That's good. Butler's got his first basket.
You know, the defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And, Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, come on now. You know he doesn't miss too many open looks like that.
Leonard, no luck.
The defense better not make a habit of giving him that shot. I mean, he doesn't miss many of them.
Now, here's Clarkson. Tight defense on him. Drummond, no good. Nice D from Duncan. Spurs have gone just a shade under 50% from the field. 5 of 11. Outside Leonard. Plenty of space. And that comes off the assist by Duncan.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
10 straight points off assist. That's very impressive, and it also makes the game easy and fun to watch.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago. Chicago was as strong as they would have hoped for last season at home in the United Center. A lot of big wins for them here.
Yeah, and despite all the injuries, they go 27-14 at home, and that helped to assure them of home court in the first round of the playoffs.
The Spurs making a switch here. West is checked in. Now, here's Clarkson. He's coming off a 10-point game against Indiana. He dishes it to Drummond. Aldridge with some nice D.
You know, you look back on the Bulls' record last year with 27 home wins. That's pretty solid. Same exact total as they had the year before. They haven't gone below 500 at home since 2008.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
Blatant contact. Straightforward call. Simple.
And a big part of why the Bulls are tough at home is this crowd. I mean, sold out every game last season. Led the league in total attendance for 6 straight seasons, averaging over 21,000 fans per game. Listen, Kawhi Leonard hasn't been in the league for a long time, but he's feeling right at home. Said last season he wants to remain a Spur for life. If you're waiting for him to miss when he's that open, you're going to be in for a long wait.
Here's McCallum. 8 points his last outing. Deflects the pass. Gasol with the steal. And here we go. The Bulls fast break. Floats one. Green with the block. So they take the lead. 6 points for Jimmy Butler. San Antonio trailing here. Here's McCallum. Gasol with the rebound. And for Leonard to hear players say that a lot, but rarely before they reach the end of their rookie contract.
Yeah, I think Leonard just realizes what a special situation he found himself in. I mean, he is the complete package as a player and custom made for how the Spurs like to play and do things.
Well, he gets it in close, but you have to credit that stifling defense for forcing the miss.
Exactly, Greg. I mean, defense like that really increases the degree of difficulty on that shot by a large amount.
Now, here's Green. He gives the team some steady offense, a bit under 10 points a game. Diaw, the screen. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Goes up on the wing. Again, Leonard missing.
He's going to play his way right onto the bench and out of the game if he continues to shoot it like he has so far in this quarter.
And now that's how you start a fast break and how you finish it.
Spurs trail by 3. Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin.
Diaw with the screen on Brooks. Here's McCallum. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Again, the miss by the Spurs.
The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take.
Now here's Gibson. Green with the rebound.
Boy, he really bungled that finish.
Passes it to Leonard. West outside to the paint. And Diaw gets it to go. The assist from West. Diaw's got his first points of the night. Chicago has gone 0-3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside. Chicago calls timeout.
And you really got to admire Boris Diaw. I mean, he's found a way to kind of reform his game as he's gotten older. I mean, so different than when he was new to the league.
Now let's take a look at the teams that have been holding their opponents to the fewest points in the last 10 games. Number 5, the Spurs.
I mean, they've been impressive on the defensive end, and they may have caught a few teams on off nights, but you've got to give them credit. They've made scoring a chore when you look at their opponents.
Some changes for Chicago. Splitter comes in for Pau Gasol. And Mirotic subbed in for C.J. Miles. And San Antonio with the change here, too. Anderson's checked in. Whoops, anticipated the pass. Turnover. In transition, here comes San Antonio. Diaw with a wide open look. Plenty of room to knock down the shot. Diaw's got 5 now. Diaw lost his athleticism and is a slower player than before. You could argue he's more productive now, though, Clark, than ever.
Well, his game was always on the ground in my mind. He's highly skilled. He's much more cerebral on the floor than given credit. I mean, I think he is really a difficult matchup because he's crafty, he's tough, and he's experienced and skilled.
So it's San Antonio now, following the miss by Nikola Mirotic. Just 5 on the clock. The second chance effort, and the basket by West. And now a 4-point San Antonio lead.
The tenacity on the interior, just battling, bringing that effort and will to their second chance point.
Brooks kicks to Splitter. Shot to stop the run, and a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. It's going to be on David West. It's not really a surprise at this point, but the Spurs were in the playoffs last year. 18th consecutive appearance.
Yeah, and they weren't in that usual top 3 spot, though. Although, had they won the last game, instead of being the 6th, they would have been the 2nd.
Right.
Didn't have that home court advantage, and as they went up against the Clippers, it really cost them in that 7th game.
And against the Clippers, the Spurs didn't have home court advantage. I mean, ended up playing a big part in that series. They ended up losing in Game 7 in Staples with some questionable timekeeping, but that's not why they lost.
And that Spurs series sure didn't feel like a first-round matchup. I mean, you could have easily have seen either team playing for the title, regardless of who won the series. Both teams acknowledged that it felt like a conference finals matchup.
Now here's Brooks. Diaw missing his last shot. Gibson the screen, and Brooks. Here we go. And he gets the bucket.
You know, huge height advantage there, but because of the great body control, he's able to cancel it out.
Agreed. The body control essential in that situation. I mean, if you're giving up a bunch of height, then you better be able to manufacture things in the air.
Terrell Wright's checked in for Chicago. Matt Bonner, he's checked in for San Antonio. The Bulls shooting their 5th free throw of the game here.
And the season numbers for them at the line thus far are really poor. Something I'm sure they are making a point of emphasis.
And guys, that allows their opponents to play very aggressive defense if they choose to, knowing it's not a bad thing to send them to the foul line. It has not been an easy quarter for them, at least offensively speaking.
And that one's good. Right.
I've really appreciated their activity in the post today. I mean, their movement down low has been great.
Oh, that's right on the money. They've generated a lot of easy opportunities on the inside.
Here's McCallum looking for his first basket still in this one.
Oh, man, still a goose egg for him in the scoring column.
Wright dishes to Brooks. Mirotic, a screen on Green. Off the pick, and finished off by Mirotic.
And very little fight put up by the defense as he made his way to the bucket for the jam.
They did seem to take the cautious approach, Greg, when it came to defending that one. You're right.
And guys, it's not the time for caution now. I mean, they've got to be aggressive and take some risk to see if they can cut that lead down.
San Antonio with the ball after the Bulls pick up 2.
Excellent. Really solid job, actually, by the defense to get in his way as he was going up for that one.
Wright, the pass to Mirotic. Drills the three-pointer. And it's an 8-point Bulls lead.
And they continue to add to their lead. They might be ready to pull away.
No surprise from my end. I mean, they've been really good, and they're looking even better at this moment.
And so the first quarter is in the books. It's the Bulls as they wrap up the first quarter with a huge surge. And Tim Duncan closing in on 2 decades in the league. He talked about his...
The games are my solace. I enjoy playing the games. I enjoy the competition. I enjoy the chess match. I enjoy the physical play. I enjoy that part of it. So being on the floor, being able to compete at that level, and knowing that I won't ever be able to compete on that level once I'm done with this, that drives me, and I love that part of it.
Well, Duncan breaking down his love for the game and what keeps him and going, not just playing, but still enjoying it at his age.
Man, it's phenomenal to see because Tim Duncan doesn't usually get too introspective with us. Anybody that plays this game knows exactly what he's talking about. And at the level he's competing currently, I don't see him going anywhere anytime soon, that's for sure.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And taking a look at Chicago's performance here, guys, what have they been doing or not doing?
A lot of tough D being played by them so far. It's been the difference maker.
Greg, no uncontested shots for the most part. That's why they've had success.
Clarkson is out there with Brooks. Then there's Andre Drummond. Then there's Mirotic. And it's Wright in at the 3, the small forward. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. Brooks misses. Spurs trail by 6. Here's Anderson. Goes back up. And it's Wright sending it back. And the Bulls with possession. They'll host the Denver Nuggets after this one. That'll be the second of 4 games at home for him. Brooks kicks to Drummond. The jump hook lands soft on the front of the rim and drops. Drummond's got the lead up to 8 now for Chicago. And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for the Bulls.
Well, in the first half of play, they're closing out aggressively, blocking shots, a key indicator of their activity on the defensive side.
Something else they've done right so far from the get-go tonight is run. I mean, so much of their offense has come off the fast break.
They set the screen. Wright sets a screen. Brooks dishes to Wright. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Brooks. Brooks has got 4 assists now tonight.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
Just beautiful when they play the game like this.
Feeds to Bonner. Dishes it to McCallum. Inside. No good. Good D by Drummond. The Bulls leading by 8. In the corner, it's Clarkson. Off target there. That would have pushed the lead to double digits. For San Antonio, they've gone 2 of 6 from the field in the second quarter so far. Bonner passes to McCallum. He feeds it to Aldridge. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. And for LaMarcus Aldridge, always praised for his terrific shooting. His rebounding, as we know, Greg, has always been fantastic. Over the past 2 seasons, he's averaged double-digit boards.
And that's why so many teams wanted him in this last free agency period. His ability to put points on the board as well as clean the boards. What a deadly combination.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Taj Gibson's checked in for Mirotic. Prince comes in for Wright, and it's C.J. Miles in for Aaron Brooks. And he gets the bucket. And the Bulls lead by 8.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
And the shot is good. That's 10 points for Aldridge.
You know, on the topic of Aldridge's rebounding, I mean, he doesn't do it by banging people around. He does it with positioning, timing, and length. And you can say that about most of his game. Quietly, effective, and impactful.
Prince, and the rejection by Leonard. Pass to Mills. He kicks it to McCallum. Here's Leonard, and it's sent back by Drummond. Now, here's Clarkson. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 11 points a game, but they get it back. And just over 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. A second chance effort. And he lays it up and in. Clarkson's got his second bucket of the night.
And guys, going back to Aldridge, last season was a difficult one for him. He had the torn ligament in his left thumb, but still fought through it to become the Blazers' all-time leader in rebound.
Now here's Mills. He's covered by Clarkson. Tries from 10, and it's good off the back of the rim and in. And it's 7 points for Tim Duncan. The Bulls leading by 6. And here's Clarkson. Mills with the steal. Outside Aldridge. And stolen by Prince. Now, here's Clarkson. Defense is right there. And the Bulls get it back. And it's Drummond missing. Spurs trail by 6. Here's McCallum. They get it back. Goes back up. Gibson. Drummond with it. And the basket good. Drummond's got the lead up to 8 now for the Bulls.
4 of their last 5 makes came off of a high-quality shot inside.
Textbook. Really, when you look at how they're playing, they are having their way down low.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game. And going against Chicago, their first meeting of the season.
It's not often we get to see this matchup, but it is a doozy when we do. Just 2 powerhouse teams facing off.
Really easy to tell that this is an important game, Greg. I mean, I don't know if the crowd will get a chance to take a breath in this one.
And the Bulls making a change here. Gasol's checked in. Now here's Mills. He's covered by Clarkson. Shot clock at 5. The dish now to West. Once again off the mark by San Antonio.
That's something they need to do more of. Get after it on the glass. Go get those boards.
Clark, it wouldn't hurt. Some extra possessions would definitely help narrow the gap and maybe swing the momentum.
And Mills kicks to McCallum. Outside Leonard. Count it from 12. Leonard's got 5 now.
And really smart to draw his man out to the perimeter. He's giving up too much size to be effective inside.
Showed nice basketball IQ. I agree, Greg. I mean, if he finds his spot on the perimeter and doesn't force it, I think his outside shot will be hard to block no matter who's defending.
Screen by Duncan. Mills, that's a 2-pointer. Can't hit. And in Chicago the other way.
And it's just hard to imagine the Spurs without Coach Popovich on the sidelines. He's the longest tenured coach in the NBA and has done so much for this team. Easily one of the best coaches in the history of our league.
Gasol a screen. Clarkson with the ball. West picks him up. Gasol no good.
And no excuse there for missing that one after being freed up by a great pick.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they came away empty, but they got the look they wanted, and really, I like the movement and communication there.
Gasol a screen. Now, here's Clarkson. Defense is right there. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron. Clarkson's got 6 in the quarter. And Greg, you know, for Popovich being with the Spurs for so long, since 1996, Clark, he is actually the longest tenured coach in all of sports right now.
Amazing, Kevin, and he's done it through winning. I mean, the 3rd fastest coach ever to get to 1,000 wins. You compare his numbers with any coach in any sport, and they stack up as Hall of Fame caliber.
Prince misses. Spurs trail by 10. They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, the offense has basically been running in place.
They got to get going. And McCallum kicks to Mills. There's the 3. And it's Chicago with the rebound. Here's Clarkson. He's got 6. From deep, Miles. And good on the basket. Book it. And the Bulls lead by 13.
Boy, they've been leaning on that outside shot a little too much here in the second.
And Clark, it's starting to let them down. They've mostly been off target.
San Antonio calls timeout.
Clearly, he's not pleased with all the looks they've given up on the inside, and also to get them to tighten up that defense.
Yeah, and I think he's going to let them know about it. I mean, they're playing some soft interior defense, and you can't win that way. That's a recipe for disaster if you're not going to play with some physicality inside.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Splitters checked in for Gibson. Butler comes in for Tayshaun Prince. And Brooks subbed in for Jordan Clarkson. Here's Leonard. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Leonard's got 7.
You can't afford to give him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you've got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
Here's Butler. Green with the block. Now, here's Mills. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. He's just scored his first basket with that shot, making him 1 for 4.
Nice work on the inside. Hard to get that one up and over the big fella.
Well, it's not supposed to be easy down there, and a little artistry on the inside helped him make it happen.
Miles, that's for 2. San Antonio with the rebound.
And it's just one of those days, guys. He has just struggled to shoot the basketball.
Here's Diaw. And the foul called on Daniel Green. That's his first foul. And the Bulls making a change here. Mirotic is checked in. San Antonio also making some changes. Bonner comes in for David West. And it's Kyle Anderson in for Patty Mills. And so here is Chicago. Brooks kicks to Mirotic. Diaw against Gasol. Now the feed to Brooks. Oh, good on the 3.
Boy, from my angle, it looked like it was in the bottom of the net. Looked good from here.
Yeah, I'm about as shocked as you are, Clark.
Bonner, no good.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
It's incredible to think that Pau Gasol last year set a career high in points in a game for as long as he's played. He had that 46-point game in January.
Yeah, that's 46 points for Pau to go with 18 rebounds. I mean, you rarely see a player of his age putting up a career high like that.
Anderson dishes to Bonner. Traps in the tray. Bonner's got himself on the board with 3 there.
Very well executed pick to give him all kinds of space to get that one off.
Splitter sets a screen. Brooks against Leonard. Shoots off the screen. Connects. The jumper drops. Brooks has got his second bucket tonight.
That was an outstanding pick that gave him the room to bury the jump shot. Underrated, but not undervalued.
And here's Anderson. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Green kicks to Diaw. Outside Leonard. They get the rebound. Anderson. Nice D from Brooks. The Bulls leading by 10. Mirotic the screen. And Brooks. Here we go. A rebound by the Spurs.
If he can improve on what's been a shaky day for him thus far, they could stretch this lead out.
Diaw with the screen on Butler. Outside Leonard. The 3. Yes, it's good. Good for basket number 4. He's now 4 for 10.
That's 2 straight quick 3-pointers they've allowed.
Defense just not reacting with enough aggressiveness.
Mirotic, a screen on Leonard. Pass to Mirotic. Fires from deep. It's rebounded by Leonard. Spurs trail by 7. Anderson outside. Leonard on the wing. 4 seconds left. And it's good on the layup. Leonard's got 12.
You know, that's been a big part of their offense in the early stages. I mean, their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range, right at the rim.
And we're through the first half of basketball here, and what's been a good one. Bulls out front. They're up by 5. And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Well, Tim, in looking at that first half, what sort of adjustments are necessary as you guys prepare to take the floor after the break?
Just refocus of energy at halftime, come out a little more focused and understanding what we got to do to finish this game.
Tim, we appreciate the time as always. Guys, back to you.
Thanks so much, Doris, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back in there for the start of the third quarter after this break.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. We welcome you to the halftime show on 2K Sports. What a start for Jimmy Butler. He had 8 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist. And Kenny, what did you think about what you saw from Chicago?
Well, quite simply, their bench showed up tonight. And when I say showed up, I'm talking about on the offensive end because they were scoring in bunches. Now, you want your reserves to just at least come in and hold the fort, but they did way more than that tonight.
Shaq, let's get your thoughts on San Antonio.
They played some solid team basketball, Arnie. Pretty good. They were sharing the ball. We saw some nice feeds, a lot of movement. It wasn't 5 individuals out there. It was one cohesive unit, and they got the assist to show for it. Their rhythm was nice.
And that's it for halftime as the second half is just about to get underway. See you after the game.
Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far. We have to like what we're seeing so far from Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, you know, one of the things about the truly greats of our game is that sometimes you get spoiled because of how consistent they can be. And so far, another big scoring night for him.
And oftentimes when he puts up that many points in the first half, he follows it up with an even better second half. We'll see if that's the case here.
Here's who Greg Popovich is starting in the second half. Defensive-minded Green and Leonard are the wings. Duncan is out there with LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Mills in at the point. Leonard with the steal. In transition, here comes San Antonio. Leonard got the ball.
And guys, that's a big swing right there. I mean, taking the steal and then turning it into 2 easy points on the dunk.
No telling how important that sequence could turn out to be.
And guys, in a game this snug, moments like that are the ones we usually look back on at the end as a difference maker.
Drummond a screen. Shot clock at 6. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Andre Drummond is a big guy. At the NBA Draft Combine, he measured 7 feet tall with a 7'7" wingspan. And he tipped the scales at 280 pounds. That's a super heavyweight, my friends.
The Bulls shooting their 6th and 7th free throw attempts tonight. And on the topic of Andre Drummond, Greg, there are a few guys in the league who combine his kind of size with the type of athleticism he possesses. Fast up and down the floor, quick off his feet, even sports a little hang time. I mean, the guy's got a full package athletically.
You talked about the raw physical tools. Then you factor in the 2 things as a big that I really value: great hands and quick feet. And he's got that going for him. So you can't go through him, you can't go around him, and you certainly can't go over him. I mean, what's left?
We can only hope to contain him, as they say.
Well, you know that Kawhi Leonard has an incredible reach with his arms, but even his hands are just massive, measured at 10 inches long and 11 inches wide. Wow.
Both free throws good from Kawhi Leonard. Well, to give some perspective on Leonard's hand size, Greg was talking about Clark, those measurements, 11 by 10, are what you typically would find on 7-footers. Well, this kid's 6'6", 6'7".
Yeah, and I'm 6'9", and I'm about 9 by 7, okay?
Huh.
So that just lets you know.
Wow.
The only other hands comparable to that, Dr. J.
Ooh, huge. Aldridge's shot is good.
That's just run-of-the-mill for him. A typical day at the office. He's one of the more skilled offensive players out there.
Kicks it to Butler. Got a piece of it. It's stolen by Green. Mills with it, working on Gasol. Pass to Green for the lead. Here's Duncan, and lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. And guys, Tim Duncan still dominant after 18 years. You know, he's reshaped his body. He has gotten a brand new diet, which he says has had a huge benefit. We saw it in the playoffs last year. Greg, I think, you know, he probably was one of the top 5 overall performers in last year's playoffs.
No doubt about it. We continue to write this guy off, Kevin, and he just continues to defy Father Time. I mean, there was a point where he was starting to feel the wear and tear, especially in his knees, but being the competitor he is, he decided to dictate to his body rather than letting his body dictate to him.
Now, here's Clarkson, covered by Mills. At the elbow, it's Gasol. 4 on the shot clock. In transition, here comes San Antonio. Here's Aldridge. It's good from about 19 feet. Aldridge has got the lead up to 4 now for San Antonio.
You know, getting back to Duncan, when you talk to his teammates, they'll tell you he's disciplined. He maintains a strict diet, does off-the-floor training, from boxing to swimming, throwing tires, running in the sand. That keeps him motivated and engaged.
Here's Butler. A wide open look for Gasol. Cans the shot from the wing. Gasol's got 6.
Well, check out that assist. That's a pair of teammates that are clearly on the same page.
San Antonio calls timeout.
And And talking about Duncan's new look, Coach Popovich had an interesting quote. Pop said, I look at him and tell him, he looked like Sprewell used to look. Just skin and bones, ligaments and tendons. But you know what? You can't argue with success, and not many people have had more than Tim Duncan.
Spurs have gone 3 of 4 so far in the third quarter from the field. Pretty good start to the half. Here's Mills. And it's Miles with the rebound. Chicago trailing here. Right wing. Here's Gasol. Second chance shot. And there's the nice layup by Drummond. Drummond's got 11 points.
And the rebound and the follow show you what he is all about. Gritty and determined with a soft touch to match.
Another pass put right into the shooter's pocket, right in the shooting pocket for a terrific assist. They've done a lot of that today.
And it's something we haven't seen much of at the opposite end of the floor.
Now, here's Clarkson, guarded closely, inside, and stolen by Aldridge. Mills passes to Aldridge. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. Now it's a 4-point Spurs lead. Bulls have gone 2 of 4 here to start the second half. Clarkson dishes to Gasol. Outside Butler. Knocked away. Mills with the steal. And now in transition is Mills. Here we go. Can't get it to go. Some solid defense from Butler. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Really impressed with the way Jimmy Butler last season made big strides in his game, going from a supporting role player to someone you can build your team around.
And the first one drops. And Jimmy Butler had the career highs across the board last season, won the Most Improved Player of the Year award, really picking up his production in his 4th season.
You know, we had seen the flashes of potential in Butler before. Last season, he sustained great play and really took everything to the next level.
Aldridge a screen. And Mills kicks to Aldridge. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him. Aldridge has got 8 points here in this quarter. Bulls trail by 4. Up top, covered by Mills. Offensive rebound. The kick outside to Butler. Second shot opportunity, and it's sent back by Aldridge. Now here's Mills. He's covered by Clarkson. From the line, Aldridge misses. Green against Butler. Now, here's Clarkson. He's guarded closely. Down to 5 on the shot clock. For the 3. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D.
And a moment here to see the numbers for Leonard. Averaging 17 points per game, 9 rebounds, and 3 assists. And his rebounding is what's most impressive. He's shown tremendous determination on the backboard.
And it's a big asset for this team. I mean, he blocks out on the defensive glass, and then he keeps balls alive at the offensive end.
Pick by West. Here's Mills with the second effort, and Aldridge with the layup. Now it's a 6-point Spurs lead.
And defensively, guys, they've lost something since halftime. I mean, they've given up open looks. They've got to buckle down and get some stops here. Play with some urgency.
And just a step ahead of the D in that possession there, making the pass. Nice assist.
Steps back and fires. Will not go. This is off the front iron. The Bulls have gone 3 of 8 so far in the third quarter, looking to lock in that rhythm. A putback, and Drummond throws it down.
Those are exactly the kind of hustle plays that can really spark a team. That's solid work down in the paint area.
Aldridge a screen. Off the pick. Mills can't hit. Bulls have gone a somewhat subpar 4 of 10 on their shots in the second half so far. Right outside. He dishes it to Gibson. Gibson the screen. The shot by Butler. Nobody around. He nails it, and we're tied up. Butler's got 12 in the game.
And those are two teammates right there working in rhythm. One setting the screen and the other using it to get that separation.
Got that bucket in no time at all. 22 points for Aldridge.
And when they've gone to him, he has come through big time. You got to keep getting him touches.
Clarkson kicks to Gibson. Solid play on the low block, and that one's good.
Great job to hit his teammate on that move, Kevin.
The Spurs have gone better than 53% from the floor since halftime, shooting 8 of 15. Here's Mills, the feed to West. Now Mills. Taking a look at his numbers, he averages about 7 points a game.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter.
Checked in for Jordan Clarkson. Boris Diaz checked in for San Antonio. Anderson comes in for Patty Mills. The Bulls have gotten 6 of their 12 shots to drop for him here in the second half so far.
You know, guys, one of the things that is always going to keep you competitive against the West is a good defense. It's one reason why the Bulls tend to be a tougher matchup for teams from the West, because they do D up.
Drummond, and he misses the go-ahead basket. San Antonio's gone 4 of 8 tonight from three-point land, shooting 50% on the 3-ball here. Here's West, and it's sent back by Drummond. And that'll be San Antonio as it goes out of bounds. Spurs retain possession. Splitter is checked in for the Bulls. Iritic comes in for Wright. Bonner, he's checked in for San Antonio. West with a wide open look, and he connects on the jumper. The screen did the trick. And the Spurs lead by 2. Bulls had a good year against the West last season. 17 up, 13 down against the Western Conference.
Yeah, and how about playing 500 or better against every division in the Western Conference? So impressive to think they did so well given how many games some of their starting players missed.
Good.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
Anderson against Brooks. Steps back and shoots. Offensive rebound. Poked away and stolen by Splitter. Brooks with it. 5 points in the game. Splitter sets a screen for Brooks. And unable there to get the go-ahead bucket.
And there have been some terrible shot choices here, Kev. That's not a good look at all.
Here is Anderson. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Dishes it to Bonner. Shot is no good. And the Bulls going the other way now. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. Anderson against Brooks. Feeds it to Butler. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
You know, Jimmy Butler is one of those guys who had to overcome major odds just to get to the NBA. Reportedly, his father abandoned the family when Jimmy was an infant. Mom kicked Jimmy out when he was 13. The obstacles and adversity go on, yet he's made it and made it big.
And so Butler nails both of them. And going back to Jimmy Butler, there were just so many times when he was set up to fail. He was not heavily recruited out of high school. He was even homeless when he was in high school in the Houston area. Went to a junior college, then Marquette, now in the NBA. So he played his freshman year at a junior college, which I think humbled him just a bit, but maybe gave him that work ethic that is so much, Greg, a part of his game now.
And Kevin, the talent was there. And most of all, as we see how he dealt with adversity, the heart was there. He blocked out the distractions and finally transferred to a major college and worked his way into becoming a first-round pick.
Diao kicks to Anderson. Clock at 6. Shot to end this cold run. Mirajic grabs the miss.
Can't get anything to drop. I mean, the way he's going, it's probably not something he should try and shoot his way out of.
Well, they say you should shoot your way out of it, but his teammates probably have other thoughts in mind. The last thing they want to see him doing is continuing to cast that jumper up.
Pass to Bonner. West outside. They set the pick. And the wide open shot from Green. The shot's good on the assist by West. Green's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Only took them a few seconds to answer the 3-ball with one of their own.
Greg, we've got a 3-point battle taking shape here.
Brooks the best of Splitter. And the shot is good. Splitter's got 8 points.
Really not hard to see why they're giving up points on this run. I mean, they've just given them too many looks inside.
Yeah, and usually when a team goes on a run like this, it's because they are getting too many opportunities on the inside. Make them beat you from deep.
Anderson dishes to Diao. Lead pass was put in just the right spot. He's got 7.
And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
Brooks outside. He feeds it to Splitter. And the refs are going to rule that unnecessary contact. It's a flagrant 1 foul.
And Kevin, that's a pretty dangerous play right there. I mean, I don't like to see a player put an opponent in harm's way, as much as you just saw him do there. Glad they pinned a flagrant on him.
Yeah, you're right, Greg. The officials were all over it. They weren't going to let him off the hook that time. The first one falls. Both shots good from the stripe. Here's Miles. The rebound by the Spurs. Green's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Now here's Anderson. He kicks it to Duncan. 1 second left. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. The Spurs have made their free throws at a pretty good clip. They've hit 8 of 10. The free throw drops for Duncan. 2 shots. He's off on the second. We're at the end of the third, and we've still got a close one. Bulls lead by 3. From the United Center in Chicago, back in a moment. All right, we welcome you back to what's been a hard-fought battle. Fourth quarter should be good.
Maybe you only rap to pay the bill. And now fit it, not even a little bit. Know yourself, know your worth.
Chicago leading by 3. They've got Wright. Jordan Clarkson is out there with C.J. Miles. Then there's Andre Drummond, and it's Gasol at the 4. That's the 5 out there for the Bulls. Clarkson kicks to Drummond. And guys, Andre Drummond has made quite an impression in the early stages of his career. Clark, you were just talking about that. Greg, I don't think anyone felt he would have such an impact this fast.
Yeah, I mean, he's already a mountain of a man among boys. I mean, it's hard to believe when you look at this guy out there. He's only 22 years old.
So he comes up empty, missing both.
Of course, he didn't have an attempt there in the first half. He's hoping to be a little bit more active and aggressive here and draw some fouls here in the second.
Leonard with no one around. That misses, had a chance to tie it there. Into the Bulls, shooting at 44%, pretty reasonable. Right from outside. Shot, no good. And the Spurs going the other way now. And now in transition is Mills. Here we go. Good. 18 points for Kawhi Leonard.
Well, that fast break went according to plan.
Yeah, nice job there, Greg. Recognizing the opportunity was there to push it, and then excellent execution. How How about that fantastic finish and the aggressive move, too, Kevin?
Trying to send a message, Clark, with that slam, I think.
And I'm not sure if it was text or email, but he definitely threw that one down.
Anderson. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist.
Well, they were sleeping on defense. The defense really didn't do its job. I mean, a little slow to react to the ball getting into the paint. That's costly.
And at this stage of a tight game, the tired legs really start to show. A defense becomes vulnerable if you can continue to pound it inside. Yeah, the drive to the bucket was great, but the finger roll was even better.
And Anderson kicks to Aldridge. Just about 1.5 minutes gone by here in the fourth. Charity stripe shot. Another one falls for San Antonio.
And they'll be counting on even more points from him. That's essential if they're going to pull this game out.
Clarkson kicks to Gasol. The pass to Miles. Drummond a screen. Miles the pass to Gasol. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. So many people overlook Pau Gasol prior to last season. Seemed to think that, Clark, he was past his prime.
Well, he was a starter in the All-Star game and a huge reason the Bulls played as well as they did. It was a big season for him. A lot of GMs shaking their head for not going harder after him.
And he makes the first but misses the second.
You know, and with Pau Gasol, it was weird to think that the Lakers were just so ready to let him go and move on.
You know, 9 times out of 10, he's going to knock that one down. He'll spray that one on you.
And Wright kicks to Gasol. Good ball movement here by the Bulls. From 10 feet out, lands soft on the front of the rim and drops.
And with the skill set that Pau has and the year he had, there's no telling how long he can play at a high level. Again, one of those guys that never been reliant on the athletic ability to have an impact.
Good. And 12 points for Duncan.
And we always talk about making your teammate better. That assist was right on target.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. And during this timeout, I'm sure they'll be hydrating themselves with Gatorade. All the effort out there on the floor, and these timeouts can be such a huge factor in getting a short rest and recharging the battery. Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
I was able to listen in on what Chicago's coach was going over with his team. And with the game still very much in play, he sounded very confident, telling the players, don't let up. This is where we make our move. Right now. Go take it. Kevin?
Jimmy Butler, he's checked in for Darrell Wright. And dishes to Gasol. Duncan with the block. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Duncan. Here's Clarkson. And here's Mills. Here's the dish to Leonard. Duncan outside. Green, the screen. Now here's Mills. He's covered by Clarkson. Clock is at 3 to tie it up. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
And guys, every time we think Patty Mills is going to take the next step in his development, he takes a step back. Last season, he shot career lows from the field and behind the arc after having one of his best ever campaigns the year before. That really just makes a coach pull his hair out. Fortunately, me, I don't have it.
Butler on the way. And again, no good by Chicago. San Antonio's gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. And here's Green outside. Gasol with the rebound. Gasol's got rebound number 8 here tonight in the game. Gasol a screen. Three-pointer. Butler. Butler can't get that one to fall.
Got a good look, though. I thought that was going to go down.
Yeah, the D, though, just enough to bother the rhythm on that one, Clark.
A three from Leonard makes that one fall. It's his 8th bucket in 15 shot attempts.
Those are the types of shots down the stretch that win you ball games.
Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
Clarkson kicks to Gasol. Shot to stop the run. And, yep, finally drops after rolling around the rim. Gasol's got 5 points now in the quarter.
And he has starting to turn it on now after that slow start.
Aldridge drives in, and it is flushed down with a nice jam.
And, guys, this game won't be close for long if they keep giving up dunks like that.
No, it won't, Jay. You're right. A glaring error defensively and letting him get all the way to the basket that time.
But it's only 2 points. I mean, it was flashy, no doubt, but still, it only counts for 2. 2 is all. It just hasn't been a very good day for him, guys. They need him to start burying some of those.
Down low, here's Duncan, and it's Chicago with the rebound. Butler's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. The feed to Clarkson. Gasol, a screen on Aldridge. Pass to Drummond. Wide open. And he didn't get quite enough under that one. San Antonio leading by 3. Mills passes to Green. Kicks to Aldridge. Trying to find Mills. Gets it to him. Aldridge a screen. And Gasol comes to help. Goes up the baseline. And Aldridge gets it to go on the assist by Mills. And now a 5-point San Antonio lead. The Bulls shooting 43% from the field. Clarkson dishes to Gasol. Shot is off. Nice D from Duncan. San Antonio's gone 6 of 14 with the 3 ball tonight. Just a little over 40%. Leonard on the wing. And there's the foul. It goes on C.J. Miles. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game.
And really, these are some of the toughest calls an official has to make.
Yeah, but in this case, I think he got it right. I mean, the defender was still moving there and never really had good legal guarding position. He wasn't set.
Taj Gibson's checked in for the Bulls. Leonard on the wing, defended by Butler. From 10 feet out, scored the bucket. He's made 5 so far, shooting a very clean 5 of 7.
It seems like they found their rhythm offensively, and they're shooting the ball much better out of the break.
Hey, I don't know if it was changing baskets or what, guys, but they clearly look a lot better offensively.
Real on that time.
Boy, I tell you what, he loves getting looks like that from the three-point line. No one near him. That's a warm-up jumper for him.
Spurs leading by 4. And Mills kicks to Aldridge. Good D by Drummond. Chicago's gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the 4th. Passes it to Miles. The 3. Miles with another miss. Here's San Antonio now. They're on a 13-5 run. And Mills kicks to Aldridge. Trying to find Green. He's got it now. And it's good. And the Spurs lead by 6.
Yeah, well done to finish that one off.
And here are the Bulls now. To the right side. And here's Miles outside. Miles with another miss.
Well, they're fortunate. Defense was taking a big chance leaving him that wide open behind the arc.
And Mills kicks to Aldridge. Moves back up. In deep. Leonard drops it in. And now an 8-point Spurs lead. Now Clarkson. Drummond the screen to the paint. Shot's good by Gibson.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact that the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have.
The drive by Duncan, and Gibson sends it back. And it's out of bounds. The Spurs able to retain possession here. Aldridge with it. Screen by Duncan. To the inside. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
You know, guys, Taj Gibson now has 6 full seasons in the NBA. Already 30 years old. Seems like just yesterday he was being drafted.
Getting back to Gibson, he was one of the oldest college freshmen in the country at age 21. Played 3 years at USC. Then he was one of the oldest players in the 2009 draft, even though he declared as a junior.
Yeah, I think the NBA is the only profession where it hurts you to have a lot of experience coming out, because that's one reason why he did drop. I mean, had he been a couple years younger, with his length and athleticism, he very well could have been a top 10 pick. But I tell you what, the Bulls are happy that he wasn't.
Now let's take a moment to get your guys' take on the scoring so far for the Spurs.
Fantastic passing. We saw it in the first half, and it's carried over here in the second.
It's been a hot shooting night for them, too. I mean, they've hit a lot of those mid-range jump shots.
Duncan, a screen. Aldridge with it. He's picked up by Drummond. Duncan kicks to Mills. 5 on the clock. Fires it up. Good. Nothing but net. Mills has got 4 this quarter.
You know what? They're winning, though, despite the fact that he has just been really off.
That's their 3rd straight make off an assist.
Great ball movement.
San Antonio calls timeout. All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Guys, thank you. I got a chance to hear what Greg Popovich was saying to his team. The focus of the discussion was getting their offense to run through LaMarcus Aldridge. Coach asked him directly to take the reins of their offense. He wants him to have a huge impact at that end of the floor for the rest of this game. He said also that their offense needs to be a patient one. He told them, don't rush things. Use as much of that shot clock as you need to. Guys, they're operating under the principle that it's never too late to fine-tune the game plan. Kevin, over to you.
All right, Doris.
Strong work for him at the offensive end, helping them to maintain that lead.
Gibson the screen. Dishes to Miles. The shot no good. Nice D from Aldridge.
He is just really almost playing for the other team. The shooting has just been poor.
Leonard a good look. And the Spurs scoring again. Chicago calls timeout. They're down by 9. There's 1:40 left here in the 4th quarter. There's 1:40 left in the 4th quarter. Gibson the screen. Clarkson passes to Miles. He dishes it to Drummond. Shot clock at 6. Lets it go from 11. Rebound San Antonio. Duncan's got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active. Aldridge a screen. Mills dishes to Aldridge. Aldridge sets up the pick now for Leonard. And that basket pushes the lead to double digits. And it's an 11-point Spurs lead.
Guys, I think this is a game they have to feel good about as we wind through the final moments here in what looks to be a solid win for San Antonio.
They found a great rhythm from long range.
They sure did, Kevin. Every time they left the man open deep, you get a good look at the basket. And they didn't hesitate, and the aggressiveness paid off.
And it'll advance their win total up to 12 on the season.
And when you play a team twice like these two will this season, always nice to win the first one as they'll go up 1-0 in the season series against the Bulls.
And what a huge standout performance it was for LaMarcus Aldridge. Every time he shot it, it seemed like it was going to drop in. And if it didn't, everyone was surprised.
Chicago calls timeout. They're down by 13. We've got 33 seconds left in the game. What's your take, guys?
Yeah, they can call all the timeouts they want, but really, I don't think it matters at this point.
Yeah, I'm ready to go home just like the players are. There's nothing they can do to salvage this one right now. Let's go. Get out of here. Game done.
Yep. He summed it up.
I was going to say, yeah, I don't think we need to comment after that.
Adios. Feeds it to Wright. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Brooks.
You know, that's a case there, Kevin, of him making a pass to a spot, and then he let his teammate run right into it. Well executed.
Here's McCallum. And there's the 3-second call, this one on the defense. And he shows the focus there, nails the technical.
And that's curtains for him. Some really good work at the charity stripe to close this one out.
And so it's San Antonio, easily taking this one. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time, GA, this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it by crunch time. Don't give them any chance to lift their team up at the finish.
And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
David, what is it you like about
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Hey y'all, Ernie Johnson here along with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome back for the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, LaMarcus Aldridge. He had an outstanding third quarter. Whatever they needed in terms of energy and offense, he was the firepower that propelled them during the second half.
He had a sensational night shooting the ball. Over 60% reminds me of myself. If you're shooting over 60%, you're playing smart. You're being aggressive, and you're creating opportunities. What a spectacular performance.
He flat out dominated. I mean, you see the kind of plays he was making all over the court. This is the game, no matter who they put on him, he wasn't going to be denied. His offensive power was in full effect.
And folks, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure. For Kenny the Jet Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal, this is Ernie Johnson. Have a great night.